for it. All right, go ahead and make your wish.
No.
Dang, you don't want it?
1 point. I don't believe in this.
Good answer, good answer. But we're about to talk.
God.
Great answer, better answer. As do I. But we're about to get into somebody who did not take that approach. But before then, let's introduce ourselves. You first.
Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach. And what we're talking about today.
I will interlude.
Ooh, pause.
That was.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that's not what I. Dang it! I was literally saying.
Anywho.
I was see.
Anywho, I was just saying that was a good transition. Bravo, bravo.
I appreciate that.
That was good.
Appreciate it.
Clap, 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 clap.
Pats for Patrick.
But yeah, you forget I didn't see this one.
I know, but I was just trying to let you. I was just gonna let you catch up to it.
Obsessed.
Yeah. See, we were reviewing the movie that came out several years ago. Obsessed with Beyonce and Idris Elba.
You were playing on my.
Yeah. See, really,
you caught me. You caught me.
Yep.
Man, if y'all.
This is going in a different direction.
If y'all were in our heads,
yeah,
you would.
Yeah, it's
torture.
It's meta within. Yeah. Anyways, what we're doing today is Obsession. Finally, it's the movie that everybody's been talking about. Yeah, he ain't watch it. Spoiler alert. We'll see how many spoilers we give away in this one. But yeah. But it's the surprise hit of the year thus far. It's crazy. He's doing crazy numbers. Like less than $1 million budget.
So quick thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I heard somebody mention it, in another, podcast.
Yeah.
How is our horror movies doing as of so far in 2026? Are they kind of rising and getting better?
Better is relative. Like you can okay.
Or more popular, like more like critically acclaimed. I don't know the.
Well, I feel like there are. If you look at like film history, like through the years, there's always been different periods with critically acclaimed horror movies, but I would say there are times where certain movies or certain types of horror are more appreciated in terms of awards, and then also the subject matter that tends to get made and the types of just overall the types of movies that are getting made.
Gotcha.
As far as horror and otherwise. So we've got with Obsession, we've also got Backrooms. Both of those movies are made by young guys that came out of YouTube. So you got these 19-year-olds, 25-year-olds that are emerging into the film industry, and everybody's been
also
saying things.
Also, my boy, well, I never met him, but I watch him. Chris Stuckman did can't think of the film.
The Iron One, is that him?
No.
The Oak. No.
Oak. Yeah. Oak Street or something like that.
Or no, is that the one with? No, is that the one with Anne? Anne Hathaway's got something. The end of some street.
No.
Okay.
I'm looking up.
I know that's not what you're talking about.
No.
But while he looks that up, I'm gonna just talk about stuff. As
we should do.
So, Backrooms is wildly successful. Again, it had like a $750,000 budget, and then it I can't remember if it premiered at a festival. I think it might have, but then it got bought and for certain millions of dollars, and then I think it's distributed by Neon or Blumhouse or a combination, and yeah, it released, and then like it made a certain amount of money, and then like did that super rare thing where after the first week it made even more money the following weekend, which almost never happens. And then after like 4 weeks, it finally had a little bit of a drop off, but it's still making a lot of money to the point where it's easily going to pass 200 million, and people are projecting it to be past $300 million, which is crazy for such a low budget movie. So it's already like probably statistically one of the most successful horror movies probably of all time, just considering the budget and the popularity.
Shelby Oaks.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Shelby Oaks. Yeah. Made by Chris Stuckman. Not a lot of people were watching that or reviewing that, I feel like, but
Yeah.
or at least the people that I watched. But some of them did. So shout out to Chris Stuckman. We see you. I like his films.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people kind of he kind of transitioned ever since he started making his Shelby Oaks.
Mm-hmm.
That he started transitioning from, he made a video where he was gonna, because he was a movie reviewer like we are, but as soon as he started making a movie, he started to not like, saying a lot of critiquing movies. He felt bad because, of course, he was making his own movies, so of course, so yeah, he's another YouTuber that kind of got me into wanting to be a movie reviewer YouTuber.
Nice.
So shout out to Chris Stuckman.
Shout out Chris Stuckman.
But
yeah,
but all three of those guys, it's like horror.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting,
Yeah.
and it's just I wanted to see Shelby Oaks, but I was just like, nah, horror is just not my thing. So
yeah, it's not everybody's thing, and I can't really blame people that aren't into horror, because even with me, I'm not into every type of thing. I kind of avoid a lot of like possession type movies.
we might need to do Backrooms.
I was thinking that we
We might need to do Backrooms.
we might need
Put in the comments if you want us to do Backrooms.
yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know.
But anywho, Obsession.
Obsession. So, for those who don't know, a brief overview of Obsession is, well, first of all, it's directed by Baker Barker. Forgive me. He comes out of YouTube. He has a popular YouTube channel. Does a lot of like kind of reactionary style videos, but also like they're comedic, but also they're kind of like commentaries on different things. But I've seen a few of his videos since seeing Obsession, and he's got a pretty good channel. Check it out. Anywho, actual plot of the movie.
We need to stop plugging on it.
Yeah, we need to plug ourselves. Anywho, so Obsession, the premise is it's simple, but it's executed very well. So we got this guy. He is in love. Well, he has a crush on this friend of his who's also his coworker, and essentially he gets this thing called the One Wish Willow, and what he does with it is he wishes that the girl, whose name is Nikki, so his name is Bear, the girl that he has a crush on, her name is Nikki, and he basically wishes that she falls in love with him, and it happens.
First off, the first red flag is what most people would say is like dating a coworker. Like falling in love with a coworker, it rarely turns out good.
So here's the thing with that. Yes, but in movies, that's general. I've noticed in movies and TV shows, that's such a common thing.
Yeah.
Even though I know in real life, I probably would
Yeah, it's kind
advise
yeah,
against it.
yeah.
But in the context of the movie, to get further context, they actually known each other since school. I think like high
Okay.
school or something. Like they've known each other for years.
Okay.
But so
Okay. Okay.
Bear, so it's
Bear.
BAR, yes. So the movie really just has these four central characters. It's you got Bear, Nikki, who he has a crush on, Ian, who is Bear's best friend, and Sarah, who is their other friend and coworker, who coincidentally, or not coincidentally, so Sarah's dad owns the music shop where they all work. So you got these four main characters, and Ian. And the way the movie kind of starts off is Ian's basically coaching Bear to ask Nikki out, and um, he's trying to do that. He's trying to practice in front of this waitress, and he's basically like he's trying to do it, and it's just it's sounding sort of cringe to him, but he's trying to practice. And fast forward to him, so Bear and Nikki, they're at this bowling alley with Ian and Sarah, and they're all hanging out. Sorry, was it not bowling alley? They're at a bar. I don't know why I said bowling. No, excuse me. Or was it bowling alley? See, I'm forgetting the details. Either way, I think they were getting drinks. That might be why it makes me up. But Nikki, she decides to go home, and Bear actually gives her a ride because she's ready to get out of there. And you think, okay, this is going to be the opportunity for Bear to make the move, or actually tell Nikki how he feels, because they've been friends for years. He's kind of in the friend zone type of deal. And the thing is, what happens in the car is this very interesting thing, because Bear has the One Wish Willow already.
So, do they do the thing to where he's introduced to the One Wish Willow, or how does that come about?
So I kind of skipped around.
I figured.
Yeah. So the reason he even gets the One Wish Willow in the first place, I'm glad you asked, is because the previous previous afternoon, evening, Nikki and Bear are on the phone, and she accidentally drops her necklace down the drain, and she's like really upset about it. And what Bear decides to do, he decides to go to the store to buy her something, to replace it basically. Okay. And he can't find anything that seems good. Like he sees some things, and he's like, I don't know about that. And that's when he sees the One Wish Willow.
So is it explained what it is before he buys it?
Kind of. You read the box. It's kind of so.
Oh, so it's
he
not
just buys
like
it from a store.
Yeah, I just figured there was like some kind of store owner that kind of gives exposition.
There is exposition to what it is,
but he reads it instead of them just telling you.
So the person who works at the store, there is a person, and he or she, I can't remember if this is a he or, because there's two different people that he comes into contact with at some point with the Wish Willow. So it is explained, but the person who works at the store is kind of like, it is explained.
Because I was just wondering if, because they always, when it comes to some of that witchcraft, supernatural type stuff in horror movies, there's always like a store owner that kind of introduces the person
Yeah.
to the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of gives exposition
Yeah.
of what it is, because we as the audience
Yeah.
don't know, or are assumed we don't know what it is, but also the main character is not knowing what it is.
Yes.
So it kind of,
So the way it's played is it's very nonchalant in the way the person at the store is, because it's kind of like assumed it's a gag gift in a way. Like it's like it's not really the person at the store doesn't really take it serious. Well, it's I don't want to say too much, but
yeah, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not even taking that seriously.
Okay.
It's like from Bear, and the other thing is he doesn't even buy it for himself at first. He buys it for Nikki to give to her.
Yeah, probably.
And then so
backfire too.
So yeah, that's the thing. He buys it for Nikki to give to her as a gift. And that's a very important detail, because when we get to the actual moment where he's about to tell her how he feels, because Nikki actually mentions, or she actually asks how he kind of feels about Sarah, who's the other coworker and friend in their group, because it's this thing where she's trying to figure out if Bear likes Sarah, and because, well, I'm gonna fast forward to that later, but it's this moment between Bear and Nikki, which it's been debated a lot, but basically Bear has a moment to tell Nikki, like, hey, do you like me? Because he mentions something that it's a nickname that she doesn't like to be called, Freaky Nikki. And she even tells him that she never liked that. And then he calls her that playfully, and it's like it's very cringe. And then she's like getting out the car, and then she's upset, and she's like, hey, do you like me? And Bear, he has a moment to say,
yeah,
and he's like, nah, just as a friend type of deal. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. And then she goes inside her house. He's still sitting in the car. He's regretful. And that's when he makes the wish.
See, this is why, man, this is how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
All this supernatural stuff.
So,
oh, man.
And basically everything from that moment.
Should have prayed about it first.
Yeah.
Should have prayed about it first.
Should have prayed about it first, and that's the thing. Looking at this from...
We always tried to do it ourselves. Man.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
But here's the thing. He doesn't... The problem is, because right at that moment, he makes the wish. He's like, I wish, Nick... He was like, I wish she loves me more than anything, and all the stuff. She comes back, and is like... Oh, it's... Like, you can tell something's off with her. And from that moment, you're like, oh, it actually worked. But it's like, it's kind of like a slow build. But you know it pretty much immediately that it worked.
Okay.
And then she's like, oh, can I go back to your place and all this stuff? And then they slowly develop an actual relationship. But the thing is, you know right away, and Bear even knows this himself, that this isn't the real Nikki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've developed this whole relationship. And then you come to find out that from the friend, that Nikki only really liked Bear as a friend. But the real Nikki only liked Bear as a friend, at least from Ian's point of view, because they have this whole relationship, all this weird stuff's happening, she's possessive, all these things. But it's really, the thing is, Bear's the real villain throughout it all, because he knows that that's not the real Nikki, and the only thing is like, and he's, they have this whole, they're sleeping together, all this stuff, and it's like, bro, you're taking advantage of her, and he even comes to find out that the real Nikki is basically trapped inside of her. Yeah.
Man.
It gets very dark.
Oh,
I haven't
man,
even gotten to how dark it gets. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's
This-
layers to
it's
it.
Wild.
It's super wild.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
find out that the other thing is Ian, the best friend.
So we're just going into spoilers.
Oh my bad. Yeah. My bad.
I was just wondering. I was like,
I didn't even get to all the spoiler stuff, but
but you were,
So I'm a pause for a minute. It's the movie.
Yeah.
So I do want to get to this debate that people have been having in regards to the movie, though, whether or not Nikki actually liked Bear, because rewinding back to that moment before he makes the wish, because before he actually does the thing, she actually looks disappointed that Bear didn't say like, "Oh, I actually like you." So people are debating that like, oh, she actually did like him, but she just didn't want to show it, or from the other end of the spectrum, people are saying like, oh no, she just wanted him to tell her the truth, just so, because a lot of times with girls on their end, they don't want to just feel like, oh, you were just my friend, quote unquote, for all these years, but you were just trying to get out of the friend zone, so you weren't a real genuine friend. The thing that Corey Barker, the director, was saying was that he wanted it to be ambiguous whether or not.
I like
really
those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to answer every single question as a director.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good to just leave them hanging.
Yes.
But that kind of goes into like a kind of thing that just happens where a lot of and I've witnessed this a lot as far as dating wise, is that guys don't like being in the friend zone. They like the friend zone is one of those areas that is like, we try to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've realized is a lot of people put people in friend zones because they don't want to hurt the other person. Like, they don't want to seem like the bad guy.
Yes.
So they'll be, instead of just breaking it off and then now they don't have a friend at all, they'll kind of put you in the friend zone, but they really don't consider you as a friend. So you, like, you're just in that limbo part where the girl still doesn't, or the guy, they don't think of you as a friend. They just kind of, it's a placeholder. They put you in there because they don't want to be the bad guy to kind of cut you loose.
Yeah, cut you loose. Period. That is a version of it.
Yeah,
that is a version of it. For sure.
But it is another case where it's like a lot of guys, they are just only, they don't want to be in the friend zone. They always got a motive. Let's put it that way. But there are some people who are just like, sometimes you're just good friends with the opposite sex, but at a lot of times that leads to trouble because eventually y'all gonna start dating other people and one of y'all is gonna get jealous. So it's still kind of like, it's best, like, especially if you're married, don't have like other friends that are the opposite sex, or they would say it depends on your relationship.
It's probably best that they're like friends with both of y'all as well. Like y'all are within a group. Like it's like if she's his friend, then he should also be her friend, and vice versa with.
But it also should be a genuine friendship.
It should be.
I feel like it's one-sided, and when it's one-sided, it never is a real friendship.
Yes.
It's got to be both sides see each other as genuine friends instead of, oh yeah, I'm just here until you get single, and then I'm going to slide once you get single.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing with ulterior motives because the other person's it just doesn't see you that way. So it's really complicated. It's really complicated, but anywho.
Yeah, it's.
But that's deep. That's
It
deep.
is. And it's even it get bro. There's so many layers to it when I think about it, and I think that's why it's such a popular movie.
Yeah.
Because there are things that I think both men and women can relate to whatever side you're on. It's like as a guy, as some you can relate to being a person who's like too afraid to articulate your feelings.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's crazy because if you look at Bear, he would rather make her like him than just be honest about how he feels and take it either way. It's like
It's
he didn't
hard.
even.
It's hard
It is hard.
because I'll speak for me. I don't always what I want to say doesn't always come out the way I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always that's kind of my dilemma is where
Yeah.
I want to say certain things, even like with my parents or whatever. I want to say things a certain way
Yeah.
where I don't, you know, get somebody angry or you know,
for sure. Yeah. I can.
or whatever the case may be. But it's just that's just not every. A lot of people are very, what's the word? Just awkward.
Awkward. Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
when it comes to
Yeah.
conversation, and communication is an important thing, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or family members. Communication is important. You gotta be on the same page, with both sides.
Yes. Absolutely. You cooking. You cooking, man. Yeah. It's tough when you're like in real time. Like we can always say like, oh yeah, he should have did this. He should have did that.
Yeah.
But
I'll also say this:
Mhm.
did like you also need friends that are going to tell you, "Nah, you messed up,"
Mm-hmm.
or you need friends that say, "Oh yeah, you," to kind of critique you and give you kind of constructive criticism on how you because we don't always see on the other side.
Yes.
We see at another point of view.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, like if somebody upsets you, you say, "Hey, yeah, that was upsetting, but that really upset me." But
Mhm.
a lot of times, we don't want no confrontation or to deal with simple subjects,
Mhm.
but that makes it worse going down the road
Yes.
because if you don't nip it in the butt at that
Mhm.
particular moment,
Yeah.
then it makes things even more awkward going forward. And
Mhm.
yeah.
Man, you are cooking today.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Even when it comes to friendships and looking at this movie specifically, I'm not gonna give this away right now, but Ian was not a good friend. Like, and if you've seen the movie, you know exactly why. Like, there are certain things that he knew that he was withholding. Bear wasn't. I'm not saying Bear leaves Bear off the hook because Bear definitely was not a good guy. He was trash.
Yeah.
But Ian also knew certain things where it's like, dang, I don't even think Bear might have gotten himself in the situation if he was more honest with Bear. But so it's like, yeah, you have to know who your friends are, and just you have to be a good friend, but also know the friends in your life. Like, do they have your best interests?
And I know it's a movie, and I hate to get like we're Christians, and some of y'all may not be Christians.
Yeah.
But that is the danger when it comes to, dealing with the supernatural when it's not of, the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's very dangerous because if he would have for example, if I'm interested in somebody, I can ask her out without consulting God, without praying about it, and just it will flow however it's supposed to flow, and then I'll feel guilty, and then things just unravel.
Mm-hmm.
But if I pray about it, and I'm not saying everything needs to be prayed for, but I'm saying if I have a thing and I go to God about it, should I do this or whatever? God's gonna give you the answer right then and there, and then you get to make the choice of, do you want to listen to God, or you want to do your own thing. And a lot of times when you listen to God, even though it might not come out, it might not be the way you want it to go, you think back on it and you're like, yeah, I'm glad I made that decision.
Yes. The thing I also think about as you're talking is the whole idea like manipulation is witchcraft. So
there
like
you go. Yep.
and that can there's so many layers to that because he manipulated the whole situation, even though I mean I don't think Bear was a Christian or anything, but it's like even if he had just been honest and just let it go however it went, it still would have been better than him trying to manipulate the whole situation by literally wishing for a certain outcome rather than letting her have her own free will. And that's the whole thing about love.
But that's also the thing that a lot of people don't get. Like when we're saying this, we're not saying it's if you're Christian, this is how things go, or trying to say, oh yeah, we're right on this because we are Christian. No, it just always works better. There's always a price. There's always a reason why God says to do it this way. And when you do certain things, you may not see how it's impacting other people or the people around you, but there is an impact.
For sure.
So that's why it's like maybe it might not be what you want to do or give you the answer that you want, but at the end of the day, when you think back on it, it's like at the end of the day, I know I did the right thing.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Whew, this was good.
Cooking. Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, I was trying to get into like the whole idea of like free will. Like, you can't manipulate or force somebody else to love you because that's not love at the end of the day. Like, there has to be that choice. That's the thing.
Even God gives us choice.
Exactly. So, like you can't make somebody love you. And that's the thing. Like, God wanted us to choose to love Him. That's why God doesn't make us love Him. God doesn't make us love anybody else. Like, everything we do on earth is by free will. Whether you believe in God or not, we still have free will to make choices. And we see this in this movie. Bear is almost trying to play God in a sense and take away that choice from Nikki. He didn't even give her the choice to reject him or not. And that's the crazy thing.
That's what we don't want.
You don't even get.
A lot of times we hate. We don't like rejection so much that we won't even let you. When at the end of the day, it's crazy. Like, and I've seen certain relationships, to get back on the relationship part, where it's like somebody likes the other, and the other person doesn't really like them back, but the person kind of insists until they're wind down and like, all right, we'll do it. At the end of the day, they start to regret it as time goes on, and you think, hey, maybe this was the right choice, but then you're like thinking back, man, I should have never said yes. But it just, sometimes we need to accept what God has for us, or accept what God doesn't have for us, to be able to accept what God has coming for us.
For sure. For sure, man. There's so much more I want to say that would give away, because I will say
we might have to have a deeper conversation.
Because I will say, even with this movie, there are things that, it does start off kind of tragically. There's a certain thing that happens with Bear that's very sad, but it's like, even I think there are certain things that are in Bear's life where if he would open his eyes, even if let's say he was honest with Nikki from there, and she was like, "Hey, I just I don't like you like that. I just see you as a friend," and he just left it alone. Let's say he even gave her the willow or whatever, and Nikki did whatever she wanted to do with it because we actually see that Nikki is a very selfless person. Like she well, she gave away money that I think Sarah had initially gave to her. Either Sarah or Ian gave to her anyway, to a homeless person. Either way, Nikki was just a kind person, but I think uh, Bear was looking at her through rose-colored glasses. It's kind of like the Manny Pixie Dream Girl effect, where he only saw what he wanted to see in her, and he didn't see her for an actual person. The problem is there were actual things in his life where he just opened his eyes. It's like, oh, there actually are people in your life that love you, but you're so worried about the idea of something than actually what's there in reality. So you really just have to open your eyes to what is around you and not be so focused on you have this tunnel vision of what you want to the point where you just ignore everything else.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where relationships are really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of times we date people that we know we shouldn't date.
Yeah.
But we like ideas of them. We may fantasize in our head about certain things.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that you need to talk about during and deal with, like during the talking phase.
Yeah.
Like, are you a believer?
Mm-hmm.
Do we believe in the same things? Are we looking for the same things? Am I financially stable?
Mm-hmm.
Are you financially stable? Am I mentally prepared to deal with a relationship right here, right now?
Yeah.
You know, certain things. You're like it's gonna be long distance. I don't really like long distance, but I think you're hot, so I'll just do long distance just because I don't want to be alone sometimes. I've been single for so long that I just want a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and I'll just settle for the first thing that comes into my lap, even though I may not be into you, or I just like what you look like, but we don't get along very well, chemistry, all that stuff. Like we could have a whole topic of conversation, but then this would be an hour long.
Yeah.
But I think that's why people may connect with this movie so well, because relationships are in every part, whether it's marriage or a dating or anything, or if it's just in a friendship and just dealing with people. Relationships are something we all deal with, and it just connects with us in a deeper level.
Yeah, for sure.
And just be careful dealing with witchcraft and all that stuff, because you don't know. It's not just a movie. A lot of people see this kind of horror stuff and be like, "Oh, it's just a movie. It's this." Actually, not. It's very spiritual.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spiritual things that happen, and you gotta be careful what you're watching. This is why I can't watch like horror movies. I can't just watch anything.
Yeah.
I gotta really be careful. Because the eye gate. What's the scripture? The eye gate, like.
I don't know the exact scripture.
Yeah.
But you gotta
put it in the comments.
Guard your gates.
Yeah, guard your gates. Guard your gates. That's a t-shirt, right?
It is a t-shirt. It should be. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. But,
it was some. I was. Something you said. I was about to chime in on about the. What were you saying? Oh, it's not just. Yes. So that's the thing. Bear. He thought. So. again, we don't know exactly what Bear was thinking, but you can kind of guess. Even when he makes that initial wish,
You don't know what he's doing.
he doesn't really know what he's. It's kind of like an impulse type of thing.
Yeah.
He didn't know the consequences of
Exactly.
what he was
Yeah.
what he was doing. He didn't even know this was going to be a real thing. Like he
Mhm.
thought he was maybe thinking, oh, is this a gag gift? Even though he does ask the shop like, oh, does this actually work type of deal? And
Right. And I think even I didn't see the movie,
Yeah.
but even in that, I'm pretty sure he probably didn't care.
Nah.
Yeah, like in that sort of sense,
But
you know, he just wanted to get what he wanted.
he exactly the real problem, or even the bigger problem, is how he responded there after the movie. Like the fact that he had this whole relationship, knowing that this wasn't the real Nicky, or like
Yeah.
he wanted to know. There was a thing at some point in the movie. Spoiler alert! He calls like the customer service guy after stuff has gone horribly wrong, and basically it's like something to the effect of the guy says, "Oh, just because it's not her choice doesn't mean it's not real." Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like it is real. He knows it's real, but he also knows that this isn't who Nikki is. Like, and he's perfectly okay with that as long as it's like, oh, she still likes me. Or in one part, he's like, oh, what's so wrong being with me? Like, it's dark. Like it's like the real Nikki kind of pops out at some points, and she's trying to get out of there, and he's like, oh, what's so bad about being with me? When she, man,
Crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Wow. So go see it. If he spoiled anything, yeah.
I don't think I spoiled the biggest thing.
But you
I spoiled.
yeah.
We talked enough about it, but
Yeah.
I,
But I feel like there was a conversation here, so I like that. I just don't feel like this was a review.
it wasn't
per
a
se.
proper review. It was a conversation around it. It's
But-
just, I think, in conclusion, I feel like if people are debating, like my kind of original point, like if people are debating whether or not Nikki really liked Bear, it kind of misses the overall point in the fact that he never gave her the choice to make that decision herself. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it's really about the choice and agency you give somebody to choose to love you or not.
Okay. So let's get back. Like, even though we've been going on for 40 minutes, so what do you rate it though? Let's go back to that.
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
4.5.
So if you're still here, appreciate you staying
Mhm.
with this unorthodox review.
Yeah. This
But
conversation surrounding
this table
session.
talk. This,
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, we appreciate everybody that watches. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know if you like this video.
for sure, and post in the comments below, and let us know what do you think. Should Christians watch a movie like Obsession? What do y'all think?
Or kind of like what are your thoughts when it comes to relationships? It doesn't have to be like dating per se, but just as far as what are your opinions about what we should do when it comes to, you know, dating or like seeking friendship or whatever, because you know it's dangerous out there, and you don't want to mingle with the wrong people.
I think I would really want to know what are some lessons y'all would take away from this movie, because there are definitely many things for sure.
But anyways, we'll see y'all in the next one.
All right, y'all.
Take care. God bless.